All right, hey, so this is season 1, episode 7. We are going to talk about the Northern Lights real quick. Not really real quick, because nothing here is real quick. But Northern Lights as described in a flat Earth cosmology. So some of y'all get excited about that, and also from HARP.
Yeah, a little bit about HARP, the high frequency auroral research program. Get into a little bit about what they're up to and things that they might be doing in the skies.
Yeah.
So
people messing with stuff and other things messing with stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get into it.
All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Tinfoil Kingdom. I am your host, Nick, and this is my co-host, Caleb. Nice. We are here, season 1, episode 7 today. Yes. We are going to get a little bit into the Northern Lights.
Yeah.
Northern Lights. And if you haven't experienced the Northern Lights, they're pretty spectacular.
They are.
Yeah.
And they've been a lot of places recently, which is, kind of gets into what we're talking about. It's kind of weird. Used to, it was always Northern Lights, right? In the north. You had to be really high up north, I think. I don't know how really high up north you had to be, but I never saw them in Oklahoma or anywhere. But I know this year there's been people who have, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. They might have to rename them.
Yeah.
To the Lights.
Yeah.
At that point. I can't verify. I did not verify this. I heard that people saw them in Florida, which is
I know people in Florida. I don't know if they did or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, even if you
that's pretty close to the parallel of Oklahoma, isn't it? Like when we drive to Oklahoma, it was mostly just you head west. There's a little bit of up, and we had some family in Texas we saw them. So there's a little bit.
Texas, dude. Yeah. That is wild.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, so, it's very weird.
We got two different things. I'm going to talk about the flat Earth perspective on what the Northern Lights are, which Nick you've never really dived into that.
That was a new topic. Well, it was a new element of the flat Earth.
Yeah, because of flat Earth, that whole kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's lots of different little things, and this is one of those little things to where if the Earth is flat in a biblical cosmology, I think that's the right word for it, then this makes absolute sense. And it brings heaven to earth in a way that most people just don't really realize. And it would be a reason to scientificalize everything and make it not, that's a new word, I like to make up new words.
Scientificalize.
To make stuff, not about God, it's just about whatever photons or whatever floating in the sky. So it could be both. I don't know. I'm not taking a position on this necessarily. But I'm just going to present that side of things, and you're going to talk about what?
Yeah, we're going to talk. We're going to get into a little bit about HARP,
which I'm not super.
Yeah,
I know of it, but
HARP. HARP, if you have not heard of it, is an acronym for the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. HARP is a lot snappier of a name.
Yeah.
So in Gakona, Alaska, which is a little north of Glen Allen. It's like between Fort Greely and Glen Allen, right?
Okay.
There is this 38-acre, it used to be government run. It is now run by the University of Alaska Fairbanks.
Okay.
There is a 38-acre plot of land where they conduct research and experiments with high-frequency radio waves. So shooting radio waves up into the ionosphere. And messing around with stuff. So we'll get into a little bit about that, what's going on with HARP up there, a little bit about cosmic radiation, all kind of tying it in together about I don't know, because we just had, what was that, last week we had that crazy light show?
Yeah, because I was sick and I was inside, I didn't see it, but my kids saw it because they went outside.
There's just something about it, man. I was looking at
red, right?
Yeah, looking at photos and I'm like, this does not look right. Something
normal.
Something stunk about it.
Yeah.
I was like, it didn't seem normal. I'm not a scientist, but looking at the photos, seeing it in person, I'm like, it's something off about it. And then the fact that people are seeing it so far south, the color scheme, like the KP index to me seemed off. Again, I'm not a scientist, but it was like all of a sudden there was this massive spike out of nowhere. It seemed like I talked to somebody today and about the lights, and we were talking about, well, you know, it happens because of the sun, and like there's a solar flare, and they're like, we study these documents, like we're studying the sun, and we're being, you know, there's these solar flares which causes it. I'm like, you're believing information that a government organization is telling you is from the sun, which we have no way to actually know whether it is.
Just trust the government. Which you
so
know
if you want to trust the government, this quick disclaimer before we get into this one. The government is fantastic and does everything right and only has the best interests of its citizen in mind.
They're here to help.
They are here to help. They make all of the right decisions. And we trust them completely.
This is just for educational purposes. That's all this is. And neither one of us, you know, work for the government or ever have, right?
No. We're just, I think, you know, we'll just put that out there, and then, you know, if anything happens, and we're, you know, we're just going to talk about some strange coincidences, maybe we'll call them.
Yeah, and of all 5 people that might see this video, I don't think they're gonna they're gonna rat us out. I don't think.
We'll see.
Hopefully you don't.
All right, you want to kick us off? Let's learn a little bit
about, to hear about flat Earth stuff.
The flat Earth part of the Aurora Borealis.
The Aurora Borealis, the flat Earth perspective. Okay, so I do have notes, and I did use the internets to help me make some of these notes.
Oh, wow.
So you know it's all messed up already. But basically...
The interweb.
On the interwebs, right? So the Aurora is... Let's jump to the end and say what the ultimate goal is, and then we'll build up to it. So the ultimate goal of what this is trying to say is that the emerald halo described in Revelation is not merely symbolic. It's the literal source of light, the color, and the radiance that the firmament occasionally reveals around the throne of God. That's what we see. And so another part of it, which I mean, just find where exactly. Okay, so when you see the northern lights dance, okay, that is the firmament echoing the worship around God's throne.
Whoa. Ooh,
and even what you're saying with it being red is complete hypothesis. There are verses talking about wars in heaven.
Oh boy.
I just pulled that out of my head right now because, like, red, I mean, maybe they are shooting stuff in the ionosphere. Maybe.
Red sunrises.
I don't know. Right?
Okay.
It's interesting. So
let me wrap my head around this. We have the northern lights. The aurora is a expression of... or is our understanding of, or an expression of?
It's what you would see. Basically, if we had a round table, it'd be great. But if in the flat Earth cosmology, for people that don't know, if this is the Earth is flat. According to, hey, this is great because it even has pillars. You can kind of
look at that.
You can't really see it, but there's pillars under the table. And the way that the Bible describes the Earth is it is flat. It's held up by pillars.
Okay.
Above it, you have this hard cast dome that you cannot get out of. It's clear. It's like crystalline glass, basically. Again, you can't get out of it, but you can see through it a little bit, kind of like through a mirror darkly, through glass darkly, right? And then above it, when you're looking up and it's blue skies, that's the waters above the firmament. That's why you can't see through it and you can't see out into whatever else is out there because you have water above. Water's blue. So it's blue. That's why it's blue. And then when the sun's not there and it's not illuminating it, then it's not blue. And so the dome that goes over the earth, the Bible describes that the city of God is in the north, on the sides of the north, and he sits above that, meaning if the dome is right here, then you have God's throne sitting on top of the dome. And we'll get into some of these verses. It mentioned Revelation, but it mentions specifically emerald green, which is the predominant color of the northern lights, as a rainbow that shimmers, moves, whatever, around the throne of God. So again, the idea is that God sits above the earth. Around his throne is this emerald rainbow essence that is there. And when you're right under, like where we are in Alaska, directly under the throne, then you can look up and you see those shimmering lights and stuff. And that's, I guess, I didn't find specific answers on this, but around the south, whatever that thing is called, it's not the aurora borealis, but it's the southern lights. Southern lights. That's basically the light refracts or however it works and goes down the dome, and so you would see it down there. Generally, you wouldn't see it. Yes, you would see it around the ice wall. Yeah, and that's why you see something down there, and not generally around the rest of the part of the world. Generally, but now we're seeing some other. Now we're seeing some strange things. Maybe the veil's getting thinner. I don't know, but they're not talking about a veil. They're talking about a hard dome you can't get through.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so God's throne is above the North Pole.
On a flat Earth cosmology,
right,
yes. He sits. It's his footstool. He sits above the Earth.
It's okay. And then you brought up something else, which was interesting. The dancing of the lights is the expression of the firmament rejoicing, or
of the worship around God's throne.
Worship around God's throne.
So when you're seeing the lights dance, this is just jumping ahead, even kind of semi off notes. But when you're seeing it dance, you're seeing. I mean, I guess that would be not even representative. Somehow or other, that is the hosts of heaven worshiping God, because we know there are hosts of heaven that continually worship God constantly, day and night. And maybe, I'm just throwing this out there too, we've talked before about at night the veil is thinner. And so maybe at night, that's why we're able to see it. During the day, obviously the sun's out, and I think that's more the scientific answer that I think they're out all the time, technically, aren't they?
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. Yeah,
because
you don't see it because of the sun.
It's like we're being told it's the projection of the magnetic magnetic sphere that is connected through the poles that is putting this it's our protection from solar radiation.
Right.
So that's the light particles interacting with the magnetosphere is what generates the light. So
that's the scientific version of it. Yeah. So we could look at some of these verses. Genesis. Go ahead.
This reminds me of that verse, and I am drawing a blank, but the heavens declare the glory of God.
Yeah, the firmament shows his handiwork. Yeah. That verse is used a lot for not so much specifically the northern lights, but the firmament shows his handiwork. It's one of those proofs. This is one of the big things that flat earthers point to, that if you were able to prove that there is a dome, that would be like the drop mic. Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. We are not in a exploding universe traveling around. There's no room for evolution, none of that stuff, which dives into all the conspiracies about going to the South Pole, quote unquote, right? Because again, you can't go there. They won't let you go there, because if you did, you find the ice wall, and then you find the edge of the firmament, and you can't, space is militarized, as it were. You can't, civilians don't just go up to space. And if you do, I guess they just launched people up there, but you're in such controlled things. And even that thing, that was such a hokey deal. They had a cardboard door or whatever. That was dumb. And so
this idea about the firmament reminds me of the Van Allen radiation belt. Yeah. And it's
that's supposed you can't get through,
supposedly we can't get through.
Before they knew about it?
Right. It was we happened to just go through a hole that was in there. Yeah. And then we made it through. And that's one of the most damning pieces of evidence against the moon landing. Yeah.
Well, they had bags of water in their in the space shuttle.
So nothing gets through here.
Yeah.
We somehow made it.
Somehow
got lucky one time, and that's all good.
On accident. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's we're gonna dial it back in here.
Yeah.
Stay on topic.
We'll bring it back in here. So again, to reiterate the firmament thing in Genesis 1:6-8. I don't know what version this is. I think it's new. I think it's NIV. It says, and God said, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate the waters from the waters." So God made the vault to separate the waters under the vault from the waters above the vault. And it was so. God called the vault sky, and there was evening and morning the second day. So that's again describing there's this vault, that separates. Yes, and other places. I mean, it's described. It's described. This isn't conjecture. Weird stuff. It's described as a hard thing. Yeah. I think it's in Job. It's mentioned as pounded out brass. It's a solid thing. All right, according to biblical cosmology, right? And so the rainbow appearance of the emeralds. Where's let me see. Somewhere in Revelation.
I want to say it was.
I should have it. He mentions it somewhere. I have my notes all mixed.
That is interesting. So, yeah, because I think it only mentions it in Revelation about the
4:3.
rainbow.
Yep. So Revelation 4:3, it says, and the one who sat there on the throne had the appearance of jasper and ruby. A rainbow that shone like an emerald encircled the throne. So again, like an emerald is, I mean, emeralds are green. It's like your shirt. It's like it's green, rainbow. like the Northern Lights, encircled like a rainbow around his throne. Right. So John describes the one sitting on the throne as encircled by something that appeared as the color of an emerald. All right, and his dominant color is green, which we already said that, and I don't think it's a coincidence. Either way, I'm not sure. According to this, it wouldn't be a coincidence at all that it's described that way, and then that's what we're seeing when you get close to the north and you see that shining at night.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and again, going back to what I said earlier, the throne of God sits on the sides of the north, which is meaning like in the north, the most northern place, which, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting having these conversations with people talking about compasses, and they want to be like, how to Magellan, circumnavigate the earth. Like, I may not even be 100% sold on flat earth stuff, but I understand, like, a magnet points north. So if north is here and the magnet is always pointing here, you can continually point the magnet north and go east, and it's going to keep pointing, and you're going to go all the way around, right? Yeah. So if you go all the way north, which a lot of weird stuff, I don't even have this in here, but I forgot his name last time too. There's a colonel that did all this exploration stuff for the United States government a long time ago, and he went to the north, and apparently there's a big old hole that you could like go travel down south and go into like the innards of the earth and stuff. That would be a hollow earth thing, which that can bleed in. I mean, there's nothing saying on flat earth stuff that it's only 100 feet thick, right? It sure
could be flat and very thick
and very deep. Well, because Sheol is beneath, right? Yeah. There's something down beneath it, and it's set on pillars. So it's interesting there. It's interesting. So the sides of the north, Psalm 84, verse 2, part of it says, "Beautiful in elevation, Mount Zion in the far north, the city of the great King." Then Isaiah 14:13 says, "I will sit on the mount of assembly in the sides of the north." That is Lucifer talking when he's saying that he's going to be like God, right? He's going to sit on the sides of the north, which again, everything points north. Just weird stuff about the north. It's just a very mystic place, you might want to say. So the aurora appears predominantly in northern regions, aligning with his biblical framing that God's throne or heavenly city is oriented towards the north.
Yeah, because if you look at it on like a map that has like a 3-dimensional view of a globe of the earth, it's always a ring. Yeah. There's a ring that just goes around the top of the earth. Yeah. Which would make sense if there's a throne right in the middle.
If there was, yeah. Yeah. And it's depicted a lot of times and I guess if we got really fancy, we could put pictures up, but there are, depictions of really, really old maps on the North Pole. There's a mountain, supposedly this mountain, and everything kind of branches off from the mountain, like the rivers and in Genesis and Eden, right, where like stuff goes to everywhere. Like they had this on maps long time ago, and then now we look at it and it's different, or we're not, or you'll get into that too. Like you're not really supposed to fly over there and look at it a whole lot. You're very restricted on how many times or all that stuff you can go up there. So it is weird. Anytime you have weird coincidences and stuff like this, it makes you just ponder like what parts of these theories or ideas are true, what are not. If it was all just cut dry and simple, then we wouldn't even be talking about it. Exactly, right? Yeah. So for the flat earth perspective, this whole idea of the sides of the north strengthens the symbolic connection here that we have, that the lights appear exactly where Scripture places God's throne, northwards and above us near the dome. So correlation is I forget the term. Just because it's correlated
is not causation.
Yeah, just because it's there doesn't prove
doesn't mean that it's that thing.
But and I forget too many terms. I have them all in my head, and they're halfway pieced together, and they would sound really weird if I tried to spit them out. But like cumulative evidence, right, or body of evidence. I used to be a cop, right? That whole kind of thing where you can't just take one piece of evidence. You got to build the whole thing. Right. So it's pieces of it, and when you all put them together. That was Heiser's thing too, talking about mosaics all the time. Like the Bible is full of stuff like that, where you get little snapshots and pieces, and then you back way up and you look at it, and then it makes this picture. You're like, oh. Yeah, exactly. Right. And I think that's even how prophecy works and stuff like that, to where pieces and parts are told, and you don't get the full picture until it's all like it's fulfilled and it's all there. And again, this whole flat earth thing, the culmination of all of this would be, I forget the exact verse, but I think it's in Revelation when God rolls back the sky like a scroll, like it describes it as that hard dome is rolled up. There's no coming back from that, because you now look straight up and there's God sitting on a throne. Oh. Like,
so could the firmament be the veil?
Could be. Yeah. If you wanted to bleed the two things together, and that's more where I would lean more towards that, to be fully honest. And now the flat earth people would be mad at me, and that's okay. I would believe that that's more symbolic of the veil, that the veil would be more, I don't know, even tying it into the Alberino stuff, that it's technology or whatever, that
could be.
It's supposed to keep us where we're supposed to be.
I'm thinking of, stay with me on this one. Flat earth, right? Dome, firmament. We're looking at like the inside of a holographic projection or something. Like there's some sort of, like the sphere in Vegas, right? You have this like dome over, and you're looking at one side of it and thinking it's like you're looking. I've been at the sphere, dude. It's wild, because you look at that screen and you feel like you're outside. Yeah. So like you look like you're outside, or there's an outside appearance, but you're inside of a dome. Yeah. Like you're inside of a piece of technology. Yeah. Could it be something like that?
I mean, it's a possibility. Because you don't know. I don't know. It's interesting.
What's also interesting is like the where it describes there's an angel at like the four corners of the earth, and like they let loose the wind. Yep. I always wondered about that. I'm like, how do you have corners on a...
Which you very easily could. And who's to say that those corners are outside the dome? Because the Bible talks about how the firmament has windows. God opens windows, lets things in, stuff comes in.
Well, Enoch talks about that.
Yes. Yeah. So you could have four corners of a map on a flat earth with a circle dome in the middle, and their domain is outside the dome. Yeah. The earth is not there. The inside's not where they're supposed to be, or at least their job. So yeah, I mean, it plays.
You're selling me on flat earth, right?
I don't know. It's all interesting. There's enough of it. This is where I will say there's enough of flat earth stuff that makes me wonder about it. But then, like, I lean very heavily on Timothy Alberino stuff, to where I think there's Planet Rahab, all that stuff. I'm way more down that rabbit trail. I believe that more than flat earth. However, I think there's elements of this that, I mean, they're worth pondering, worth looking at.
Totally is. Yeah. And it's, I mean, isn't that what a conspiracy theory is? It's just it's an alternate view of the main narrative that's been given. Yeah. Like there's enough there that you can be like, yeah, that's a possibility. Like it's not totally out of the picture or totally made up.
Yeah. And not everything in the Bible is analogy or whatever. Yeah. There are physical elements of it. And we've talked before, and we've gone over things, and the thing that got me away from just hook, line, and sinker believing flat earth was the fact that God did use people where they were at to write the Bible. And the truth statements are still there, that God made everything, he established everything, he holds everything together. That's the truth statements. The exact physiology of the earth, that wasn't the point of what he was trying to say.
No.
And so seeing that, I'm like, okay, there's pieces of this that can be allegorical or, is that the right word? There's two different things, but they can be symbolic. They can symbolize different things. And so like Ezekiel, when he's describing the area above the cherubim in Ezekiel 1:22, it says that it spread out above the heads of the living creatures, was what looked like something like a vault, sparkling like crystal and awesome. So he's having this vision, or he sees this thing, It doesn't have to be completely symbolic. There could be a literal crystalline expanse around or above or under the throne of God. He saw something, and that was the best way that he could describe it. Right. So that
if we believe Scripture is inspired by God, there's
it wouldn't be heretical
validity to it,
right? It wouldn't be heretical. It wouldn't be some crazy far off thing, because then God wouldn't have allowed that in the Bible.
Exactly.
Right?
That's my point. You know, it's like, okay, at least give it the time of day.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to consider it.
You can't just be like, nah, that's we're going to skip that, or that's not real. That's an analogy, or they're just
just a bunch of stupid people writing stuff. Well, yeah. Then you got to apply that to everything.
You have to
get in big trouble.
Give it credit, or at least give it time to, sit on it, marinate it, think about it, like look into it. Yeah, totally. This is what we're doing here.
Exactly. So it says the northern lights are heaven's radiance refracted through the crystalline firmament, giving us the glimpse of glory occurring above. So again, the worship, the stuff that's going around God's throne, that weird emerald rainbow, the crystalline stuff. I mean, what's the word? The movie Pollyanna. Did you ever see Pollyanna?
No.
It's goofy, old, not really goofy. It's this old show about this little orphan girl, but basically she really likes these prisms, right?
Okay.
And how she would hang them up and make people happy because the sun shines through it and makes rainbows, and she's super happy about that. But then they twinkle and they move and stuff because they're crystal, and so light coming through them refracts and looks different, kind of moves and stuff, and so that seems to be kind of like what the idea here is, that you have this crystalline clear thing, which you can have a crystalline clear lens, like the lens on the camera, which is polished and clean and straight, and it doesn't make the lights move, or you can be looking through a prism that makes stuff sparkle and move with the slightest movement of stuff. So if you have the hosts of heaven singing and worshiping and moving and doing this stuff, and you have this rainbow, if it was this way, if the flat earth thing was real, then this would happen. This is what would happen. You would look up through this, and even the waters above the earth, they move, and it would give this appearance of this shimmering, moving, living light that comes down.
The aurora is the light, is the refraction of the light
around God's throne. That's in essence what it's talking about.
Dude, that's good.
It's interesting, right? And you have different places, Revelation 4, Ezekiel 1, Daniel 7, they describe this aurora, this light, as being fire, radiant light, the colors of gemstones, and moving like flames of fire. Well, if you look at the northern lights, they dance and they move. It looks like fire. I mean, it is. Yeah, it looks like a living thing, which I should have looked this up even too. It's not so much even on flat earth stuff, but aren't there lots of native stuff about the lights being living spirits and they move, and you can, like, I know my wife, she grew up in Barrow, right? And you could make noise and they will react to the noise. It's weird.
Yeah,
that is very strange. It's like it's a spirit.
Yeah, there is definitely a supernatural, spiritual connection. I don't know all the details about it, but yes, that definitely is.
I know of it, but I don't know all about it. Right?
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. I mean, and think about it. Like, if you see them, if you have the opportunity to see them, like there's something awe-inspiring about it. It's just like, it's very cool, but there's something else that goes on.
Yeah,
it's a spiritual experience.
It feels otherworldly. I remember the first time I saw it. I was hunting with a friend. We were hunting bear. We didn't get anything. We just got scared. But it was in the morning. I woke up early in the morning. I got out of the truck to do my morning constitutions. And I remember I looked up and I thought it was clouds. And then I saw they were moving. I was like, oh, those clouds are moving kind of quick. And then I kind of looked at it more. I was like, oh no, like they're really like moving, but they were white. They weren't emerald. It was like a white aurora thing, because it was right there at like dawn. So the sun was not quite come out yet at all, but it was weird. And I looked at it and I was like, holy cow. And I got my buddy. I was like, is that the lights? I'd never seen them before. He's like, yeah, that's what they are.
Yeah.
Like, dang. And then I've seen them in town. I mean, the other night was like supposedly really cool, but I was sick. I'm dreaming about magnets, right?
The magnets.
Maybe that's what it was. It's magnets just pulled them down.
It is magnets.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Maybe that's what's going on.
That's
this cosmic thing.
We just made that connection.
Wow.
Nailed
anyway, but I've gone
Wrap
out
it up.
like shooting in the morning because I go on Saturdays. I do reviews and stuff, and so I got up early in the morning. I remember walking out of the house and looking up and being like, "Holy cow!"
Yeah.
They were everywhere. And then as I drove out towards like Eagle River, Sutton area, when you get to the bridge, that big long open area where there's nothing out when you go out that way, they were everywhere, and it was trippy. And then when I finally got to Sutton, the place I go shoot, there is no light pollution out there or where I was, and it was just they were just like everywhere. It was trippy weird. If you've never seen them, if I can find them, I took a video of it. It'd be buried in my file somewhere. But I'll throw them up there if I can. If you've never seen them, there's something
come
weird
to Alaska.
Yeah,
check them out. And just to dispel the myth that's out there, we don't see them all the time.
No,
they're not constantly happening. It's not every night.
No,
they almost are a little elusive in a way. It's kind of hard to see them.
Yeah,
if you see them once a year, I think you're doing pretty good.
We're also in Anchorage, which is further from the north.
Sure, right.
If you go up to Barrow,
north you go,
there are a lot.
Right, the further north you go,
further north, which
because you're closer to God's throne.
That's what I'm saying. It's weird, right? It's very interesting. Weird. It's very interesting. So
we're determining that they're based on this flat Earth cosmology. There is something otherworldly about the Northern Lights. There's something cosmic about it. There might be potential for being able to utilize it in some way or understand what's going on, because it's a very strange phenomenon. Right?
It's very strange.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's way more bizarre than just a storm or even rainbows. They're cool, but they don't move.
Right.
They don't react to you. Like, I don't know what other... that might be why they're so mystical, because they react, right? I don't know any other nature phenomena that humans can, like, almost interact with.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you can touch them necessarily, but like I was saying, like you can snap and clap and you can do things and make them move.
Yeah.
You can't do that to the wind. You can't do that to clouds. You can't do it to water, as far as I'm aware of.
There's some interesting stuff about water out there, though.
There's
like reacting to different frequencies.
Yes.
Or like freezing it and it like somehow makes a picture or like an impression.
Yeah. Yeah,
stuff like that is crazy.
Well, water has memory, like that whole thing. Like, there's weird stuff with water, but it doesn't. It's not as interactive.
It's not as interactive. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is. I don't know
what it is either.
I don't know. My brain's just going like, I wonder what the elements of these native folklore things about how the lights work, if they did ritualistic things during that time, and if that is it could be two different things. If that's a bastardization of like that's the worship of God in heaven, and then they're utilizing that somehow for their purposes, or I believe a lot of natives, they have a great spirit in the sky kind of thing. They don't know the name Jesus. You don't have to know the name Jesus as far as knowing that there is an ultimate creator and you're choosing to worship that one over all these other ones, right? I truly believe that, especially for those people that they weren't proselytized to. You know what I'm saying?
I think we just lost some subs.
Probably, and that's okay. I have 3 right now, so we haven't even posted anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying.
I know.
I know the verses that says, at the name of Jesus, every knee will bow. I know that.
But at that point, everybody's going to know the name of Jesus. Like
yes, and knowing the name of Jesus, it's like knowing the reputation of who Jesus is, right?
And that's what general revelation is, isn't it?
I think so.
I think so. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, we can get all. No, we lost everybody on that one, but that's okay. But that's what I'm saying. Like there could be also times maybe where they saw that and they worship at the same time, and there could be some weird, heavenly connection there.
So you're saying it could be
utilized
like creating a counterfeit. Right.
Yeah, it could be utilized for both ways, depending on who you're worshiping, what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. If this is all theoretically, the rainbow dancing around the throne of God.
We see that throughout history. I think with different civilizations worshiping creation, and not the creator.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. That's
whether
what I'm saying. Yes, you're not worshiping it, but you're
animal, the sun, the moon, whatever.
Yeah.
Like you're worshiping a thing that the creator made.
Right. Instead of recognizing that is, I mean, obviously the creator of that awesome, crazy thing is going to be more awesome than the weird stuff.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah. In essence, that's mostly it. That's the short end of the stick, which is a lot, and there's a lot more that could be said about this. And the weird thing that you can really get into all this is that there's no way to prove this without busting through the firmament.
Right.
And Operation Fishbowl taught us that you can't get through the firmament, right? You know Operation Fishbowl?
I'm familiar with the name.
They're launching nukes at the firmament trying to get through it, and they couldn't get through it. Yeah. Like, why were they doing that? Yeah. Like, what's going on, right? And then, like, aliens, UFOs shut down nuclear sites and stuff. Like, so maybe
that starts to make a lot more sense when you think about, hey, there's a firmament, we can't get through it, let's try and shoot our nukes at it. And then the aliens show up, they're like, no.
No. Well, and shout out to Blurry Creatures. I think that was the latest one they put out. Did they put that out today or yesterday? Or maybe I'm listening. I don't know. It was they were talking to some nuclear, I don't know if that was today. I heard it today. So it probably wasn't today. It's probably a year old. But they were doing an interview. No, this was old. They were doing an interview with I think he was a captain at the time or something, over a nuclear base or a nuclear launch thing, whatever. And he was talking about how these UFO things came over and shut down all their missiles. And the crazy weird thing about it is that if it was some nefarious, like, we're just trying to stomp you out, they would have broken stuff, but they didn't. Yeah, they somehow just turned a switch, a very specific switch through like 60 feet of dirt and like triple insulated wiring, like all this stuff that it's U.S. nuclear stuff. Like, we don't just frivolously go out to, Radio Shack and buy wiring. Like, no, you don't just do that. And somehow or other, they were able to just turn stuff off, not break it, turn it off the next day at work. Right. And so, like, could that even be good beings?
Yes. That's where I was going to go with this. Yep.
That were like, no, do not do this. Yep. Stop this thing. Don't do it.
It's like correcting your child, right?
Exactly.
Like when they're going to do something stupid, like touch the hot stove or something like that, or stick a fork in the like. It's the same idea. Yeah. Like, God sends his host to be like, all right, knock it off.
Yeah. Well, and you could tie it back to Tower of Babel, whatever was going on there, which I'm more of on the belief that they were trying to control God and make a temple for him to come to when he didn't tell them to do that. They're trying to control him. He said, no, I'm not going to be controlled that way.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of other theories and ideas out there that they were doing something to get into heaven, and God put a flat stop to that thing and dispersed everybody. And it seems like it seems like God does something really big, whether it be the flood or whatever happened at Babel. He does a massive thing, and he doesn't escalate past that. Like, that did its job, and then he like puts little fires out. Like, whenever needed, he puts the little fires out. Like, if this was the even the flood, taking out Nephilim and stuff. However you want to look at it, somehow they came back, but not in the same way.
Yeah.
And David went out and killed all these different things. So God puts a big stop to stuff, and then uses people to put the little fires out. And maybe in things like the nuclear stuff, if this alien thing is really angelic beings sent by God to stop that stuff, they didn't kill anybody. They didn't even hurt. Well, they might. I don't know. I don't think they hurt anybody, but they shut it down.
Yeah.
I don't know. We kind of got on a rabbit trail there, but it's interesting.
No, that's a good one.
It's interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it also aligns with the stories that you have in the Bible. I don't know the exact number, but it's a lot. How many times an angel starts off with, do not be afraid?
It was like almost every time they show up, isn't it?
Almost every time.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid. Have no fear.
Yeah.
Something about telling the person to relax.
Yeah.
So when you listen to these UFO stories, and I forget the name of the guy. There was he was working at one of the nuclear sites that a UFO showed up, shut it down, and he was just totally freaked out. Like, okay, that aligns very well with, hey, don't be afraid.
Yeah. Yeah. And even in this guy's story, when those things showed up, the guards outside were freaking out.
Yeah.
Because it's like, there's this lights and this thing there.
Right.
It's hovering over the place. What we're supposed to do about this? This is not a good thing.
And it's okay to even say, like, some of those interactions, those UFO encounters, those could be, angels sent on assignment by God.
Yeah.
And then abductions could be,
nefarious.
Nefarious.
Yeah.
demonic.
Yeah.
The bad guys.
Exactly.
Right? So you got good guys, bad guys, and they get mixed up because nobody knows the difference just by
because we're told that it's all fake and weird anyway, right?
Right.
That's where it gets
so it gets a bad rap, like, oh, these aliens are just here to abduct us and do experiments and do all this crazy stuff. When maybe it's like maybe we can't tell who's on whose side.
Yeah.
We can't see that. We just see like lights or whatever, orbs.
Yeah.
UFOs. Yeah. We took that one.
Took that one
in a different direction.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I like that.
So that's
so if you could. So okay, so there's something going on with the lights.
Something
now.
Yep.
How do you think it is possible if there's some hidden knowledge passed on about the lights that humans know of, that they would try and harness the capabilities, or somehow, if there's something otherworldly there, do you think there's a potential for people to try and get a hold of it?
Like Tesla?
Like Tesla.
Yeah. I don't see why not. Especially, this is why flat Earth is like the keystone of like it's like the holy grail of most conspiracies, because it answers a lot of weird stuff. So yeah, you would also in that whole flat Earth thing, you have the ether, which is like the upper levels of whatever's under this dome thing. And it is described in some places like water, like this fluid thing that you can kind of get through. You could use it. That's the whole idea with Tesla. He figured out, it moves around. That's what creates a magnetic field, whatever. And so if you can harness that, you have like unlimited free power. Well, what government in their right mind is going to give people unlimited free power? Like, no, they got to control it, right? We've got to use fossil fuels or whatever, which I'm not against fossil fuels. But that's way more easy to control than free whatever. Just
can't be handing out free electricity.
Exactly.
Well, that's
right.
Why you got shut down, because they're like, where are we going to put the meters?
Right. He's like, well, you don't need meters.
Meters.
Where's the money? There's no money. Oh, well, no, you're going to die now. Right. And so, so there could be maybe things with the Northern Lights. I don't know what it would do. I don't know. I'd have to look more into like folklore stuff of what, if anybody says it has any kind of like healing power or communication stuff, which is, I don't know if that's what you're getting into.
So, it sounds like the potential for a government-run program called the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program.
Yeah. There you go.
HARP. Yeah. Let's learn about HARP, because I think it might lend a little light into what's going on. Pun intended. So HARP is it's a program now run by the University of Alaska Fairbanks, right? So in 2015, the government used to be run by the Air Force and the Navy. It was a joint venture. I think it's important just to clarify here, just for everybody, if the DoD, Department of Defense,
DOW, right?
Yeah, sorry, DOW now, invests money into a program.
Yeah.
It's a really good assumption that there's going to be a military application to that program, or some sort of weaponization.
It's a good point. Fair point.
So if we're starting off with a government-funded Air Force Navy joint operation program to study the Northern Lights, why would they be investing money into something that is not potentially going to be a weapon?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
So I think it's important to clarify that before we continue, and just think about that for a second. This is officially from the website. I will read it verbatim about HARP. The world's most capable high-power, high-frequency transmitter for the study of the ionosphere, which is, to bring it full circle, is what Tesla was getting after with being able to harness free electricity.
Yeah.
It has, again, not a scientist, but it has something to do with sending like signals up into the ionosphere and like matching the same resonance and being able to tie into it and then bring it back down. So like essentially
communication?
Yeah, for communication, for power. So essentially there's like this floating
ether. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what they call it. Yeah.
There's this ether that's just hanging out, and then we're able to access it from here and bring it down to our level, and then that's how we can send free power out to the world, right? So this is their position, high frequency transmitter to study the ionosphere. Okay, so the primary goal is to understand the process, how it affects satellites, GPS, radio comms, over the horizon radar, and asteroid detection. Okay. So that is like what HARP is up to and what we're being told is happening. So they're studying what's happening up there. And again, if they're studying what's happening up there, there's probably something happening up there.
Yeah.
So they will send let's see. Yeah, I talked about it's a 38 acre research center in Bush, Alaska, out there in Gakona. Not much happening out there. Shout out if you're from Gakona. Thanks for listening.
Tell us where we're wrong. Yeah.
So it's like the ionosphere is the layer of Earth's upper atmosphere, 30 to 600 miles above the surface, right?
Okay.
Playing a key role in radio comms, GPS navigation, and satellite operations.
It was how far? 30 to 600 miles?
30 to 600. That's what so it's like a very vast array.
It's interesting, yeah, because it's not saying it's thousands of miles away.
No.
Which, again, flat Earth stuff, it's not thousands of miles away. I can't remember, they've estimated it, whatever, but it's not nearly as far away as what
and
people are saying. Correct
me if I'm wrong. Let's workshop this here. This is on the spot. If we got a dome, and say there's like a layer of ionosphere going all the way around, if you were here, you're going to be a little closer to it than you would up at the center, right? If we're all... As that dome comes around, you're going to be closer to the edge.
Yes, you would definitely be closer to the edge.
Outside.
I don't know where the ether is.
Do you think the ether just is hanging out on top?
It's about density. This is what I've always been understanding about how this works. It's all about density. The gravity thing is just density, right? That's why some stuff falls, some stuff doesn't, because that's why, like, you jump in the water, you float, right? Because you're more buoyant, right? Or generally, you're going to float. And so there's the idea that, yes, around the edges, to get to the actual firmament dome, yes, you would be closer on the edges, right? And then it goes up. And then somewhere up in here, there's like this layers of ether, and I think what they speculate is there's different layers of that ether.
Okay.
So yeah. I don't know how high up they are, but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So HARP, let's see here. Just reading more from their stuff. Consists of a high power radio transmitter array up to 3.6 megawatts. Which temporarily heats small regions of the ionosphere to simulate and study natural phenomena like solar flares and geomagnetic storms. So that is what they are doing up there.
To simulate.
This is to study it.
Yeah.
I drew a lot of this. I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on just for a quick second, if that's okay. I drew a lot of connections from this to what happened with like the gain of function research COVID stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it sounds an awful lot like, hey, we're going to study this thing. We're going to manufacture it ourselves so we can know how to stop it in the future. So if it ever happens, we have the answer, but we're making it ourselves.
It's trippy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, yeah.
And then it got loose.
Yeah.
But you're the ones making it.
Right.
To study how to stop it.
Yeah.
Like, that may make sense, but it sounds an awful lot like what's happening at HARP. Like, we're going to mess with the ionosphere. We're going to mess with stuff, figure out how to fix it in the future. I'm like, but stop messing with it in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just where I went with that.
I hear you. That is interesting, yeah. In the same way that we did with, like, nukes and whatnot in Nevada and islands and stuff, or, like, blowing stuff up. Like, we don't know what's going to happen, but it's in the middle of wherever. Let's just start blowing crap up, you know? It's like, let's make tsunamis and just study on how to, stop them, whatever. And we don't know what these things are up in the sky, but let's figure out how to make them, and then we can figure out how to stop them. Like, maybe don't do that.
Maybe don't do that. Just saying.
We don't microwave everybody.
Yeah, don't shoot a bunch of microwaves in the sky. But we want to know what happens. Okay.
Yeah. It's like a bunch of toddlers with unlimited money.
Unlimited money. Yeah. That's what it comes down to. All right. So this is these are just for fun. This is from the frequently asked questions on the HARP website. Now, say what you will. If you share a common distrust for what the government is telling you, the fact that they're answering these questions on their frequently asked questions, to me, points to the fact that it is going on, and to make it sound like it's not going on, we're gonna entertain it, and then tell you like a half truth about it.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, yeah, we'll get into it. Okay, HARP cannot control the weather. The amount of energy added is tiny compared to the energy from the sun. Now, what do we know about the butterfly effect?
Yeah.
You're adding stuff.
Yeah, you don't know how it's going to affect.
Anyway, HARP cannot create earthquakes. No mechanism exists. Can't create earthquakes, but maybe you can give it a nudge or something.
Maybe you don't call it an earthquake. You just say something else. Maybe you don't call it an earthquake. It's not an earthquake if we made it, right?
HARP cannot do mind control.
Oh, no.
Frequencies are wrong. Power density far too low. Why are we even bringing up? Why is the organization that runs this facility even mentioning mind control on their website?
Yeah.
When you're studying the aurora, right? I just like
that was that part of the answer. The frequently asked questions.
It's on their site. Frequently asked questions about mind control.
Trippy because we know, like, how many things are there out there that I don't know. Again, I know the things in my head, but I don't know the words of the scientific things. But we have weapons and stuff that are mood controllers, right? You can stimulate a crowd to get violent. We can do that, and the government can do that. So maybe it's not HARP. It's just a different part of the government that is just like, no, we can't do this. Well, you're saying you, as that individual who answered that question, can't do this, but the powers that be behind you can do that.
Can do that.
Yeah.
Right. Weird. Right?
Weird.
Very weird.
Very, yeah.
Okay. Radiation exposure on the ground is millions of times below safety limits. Signal is directed upward. Okay. Again, with this one, yes, radiation exposure is lower on the surface. And then they say signal is directed upwards. So you're admitting you are sending a large amount of radiation up into the sky and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it might be safer here, but that doesn't answer the question of, like, it doesn't solve what you're doing. You're still shooting a bunch of stuff into the sky.
Yeah. It's like saying getting shot with a 22 is better than getting shot with a 45.
Exactly.
I still don't want to get shot with a 22.
I don't want to get shot
kill you
at all. That's like, which one do you want? A 22 or a 45? How about none? Just do none, right?
Yeah, can we just have that option?
All right, so quick timeline here. It started construction in 93, first full power up by 99. Again, Air Force Navy joint program. 2014, they want to shut it down to save money. That's when UAF takes over.
Okay.
Now, again, these are just facts.
Yeah.
They want to shut down to save money.
Yeah.
But they still want the program to continue.
Yeah, keep it viable.
So, hey, let's give this to UAF, and they can just run our experiments for us, and that it's coming from a different pool of money.
Yeah.
You don't think that the Air Force is still involved?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, there's an interesting patent from Bernard Eastland. This is patent number 4686605. You can go look it up. 1987. I did. And this is a direct quote. Method and apparatus for altering a region in the Earth's atmosphere, ionosphere, and magnetic sphere. So, follow the train of thought here. Weather modification by lifting the ionosphere, changing jet stream pressure, and now you have missile defense capabilities, over the radar horizon enhancement, Earth penetrating tomography. Quote, could be scaled to power levels that affect global weather. Okay.
That's part of the patent.
Correct.
That doesn't, that they don't
Correct.
do that. Yeah.
So, Now, what they'll tell you and what you'll read, what you can find out there is that the amount of power that HAARP is generating is far too low to make any of these effects happen. But the design is what was envisioned. Like,
it's just scaled down.
It's scaled down.
Okay.
Now, again, we're being told it's scaled down. I don't know. That's just what we're being told.
I don't know.
But like I said, the butterfly effect is a real thing. So even if it is a small amount, a butterfly can start a hurricane.
Yeah.
So again, all right. There's a couple good conspiracies out there already on HAARP. A lot of people don't trust it, especially the locals. All right, here we go. Connection to the lights. Let's get into it. This is what HAARP's position is. Can create a weak artificial air glow. Often faint red-green spots visible on very dark nights. And that is a well-known fact. They're saying it's used as diagnostic, proves the beam is hitting the right altitude. So they're creating this artificial glow, very similar to the northern lights, by exciting electrons in the ionosphere with radio waves, mimicking the effect of solar particles during geomagnetic storms. Now, this one is interesting. We're jumping back in our time machine, May 2024. Supposedly the biggest aurora in 20 years. UAF puts out a press release. This is the quote. The aurora seen worldwide, May 10th through 12th, 2024, was caused by the sun. The HAARP campaign, so their testing, was done May 8th through the 10th. Was unrelated.
Oh yeah. You know what that sounds like? You remember the flooding down in Texas not too long ago, and it killed all those people, and like the day before or whatever they were doing cloud seeding.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's an interview with the guy. My brother told me about him. I didn't watch the whole interview, but
I think he was on Sean Ryan.
I think he was on Sean Ryan. He was like, it did not create this issue. Right. However, just like you said, the butterfly effect, it added to it. And it's like, yeah, that was rain, which caused flooding, which killed people. And now you got this stuff, which even if the northern lights, all this stuff is just the solar stuff coming from outside our atmosphere into our atmosphere. And now we're doing this reverse thing. We're going inside our atmosphere up. That's not the same thing.
No.
That you're doing,
not, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's a good point. I mean, the aurora is naturally occurring.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Well, whatever it is, right. But there also seems like we can manufacture it.
Yeah.
And so if we're manufacturing it, like, it has to have some kind of, there is some radiation like going on there. Yeah. So something is happening. Like there is a power there that exists.
Yeah.
There's no other reason why we would be studying it for weather manipulation. Like, it's not just a science fair project that the government's going to invest in if there's no potential of having some kind of weaponization.
Yeah.
So
the only way they would do that is if it was some massive shell thing to fund some other deal, you know, like whatever they're doing with NASA. I don't know, but whatever.
This one is the craziest thing that I found doing some research for this. 1996, okay? 1996 Air Force document comes out entitled, I want to get the correct title. Okay, here we go. Weather as a Force Multiplier, Owning the Weather in 2025. Let me ask you a question, Caleb. What year is it? 2025.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. So
interesting.
This is a
40-page
report from a team from the Air Force about they were like doing this brainstorming exercise on how to use weather as a weapon by 2025. It's out there. You can go read it. You can just throw it in, search for it. Full article. Report. Report. Okay. Again, we're just pointing these things out. Correlation does not equal causation.
Nope.
They're just interesting things. So anyway, that is a little bit about HAARP. There's a lot more to unpack with that, but Like there's something fishy is going on. That's why when we saw the lights last week, I immediately was like, nah.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
They're like red.
I didn't buy it.
According to the pictures I saw.
Yeah, red, like really, really, like pink. I mean, we get pink, but not like that. Like it was like red. All of it was it just seemed off. It didn't have the right look. It just seemed unnatural. Thank you. Yeah. So maybe it was HAARP, maybe not. I don't know. We should try and get up there. They do like an open house once a year.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be weird.
So
That'd be interesting.
We should go check that out. It happens in the summer, but.
So what do you think they're doing? What if you could throw something at it? What do you think they're?
So, I mean, for starters, I think they're trying to weaponize the weather somehow. Like
weaponize like to what?
So like I think it's a well-known fact the government, whoever, deep state has been doing weather manipulation since the 80s. Like it's been happening. So I think the idea for me, what HAARP is just a part of. Like I think HAARP is just a one project of a bigger picture. Is that how do we figure out to control the weather so we can use it as a weapon against our adversaries? Like so whether that is like pulling power out of the ionosphere or it's creating some kind of EMP, right? A signal disruptor, so that you can use that against your enemies and like project it across the other side of the world and have it come across as a naturally occurring phenomenon. I think that's the play, because if you can attack another country through a hurricane or earthquake or any sort of natural disaster, who are you going to blame? Right. There's nobody to blame. So then now you're fighting a war that you're not losing resources, people, assets. Yeah. That's scary. And that's what I think is happening with HAARP. Like, I don't know all the science behind it, but they're exciting particles and shooting radiation up into the atmosphere. For what purpose? Let me throw something at you. Let's do it.
What if, again, that's the human side of things. What if there's something going on with the whole there's a term for it, terraforming-ish, to change the world into more habitable place for other things.
For other entities.
What if, right? However that works.
That's the whole point of our...
right? Because I've heard that in other things, right? That, whether it be global warming or whatever, just different stuff, I'm not sure, whatever. But to change the atmosphere to be more hospitable for these other hybrid, whatever you want to call these things, elder race, whatever stuff, whatever they are, to change it, because again, taking Tim's side of things, ultimately that's what they want. They want to displace humanity so they can be here. And once they have dominion through however they're going to do that, then they don't need humans anymore because they already have it. Right? And what better way to do that than to just smoke everybody out, basically? Yeah.
Dude, you'd follow this rabbit hole? I mean, now you get into population control. Yes. Bill Gates has said some really crazy things about population control and like reducing the amount of people through vaccines and things like that. So I think if you're paying attention now, like today, there's a lot of ways that we are trying to be controlled and manipulated. Yes. And, like killed, honestly.
Yeah. Like very covertly. Yeah. But then again, cumulative evidence, it just keeps building and building. You're like, hold on a minute.
Yeah. Start looking at our food, start looking at our water, start looking at like things that are in products that we use all the time. Like the whole thing.
Yeah. And then now weather.
Across the board. Yeah. Weather, like radiation. We didn't even get into chemtrails. Like,
no, that's a whole other thing. That's not even a conspiracy anymore. Right. I mean, again, you have patents on how these things work. You got people talking about this stuff. Saying. I have a video somewhere whenever I was out shooting, and this airplane comes flying across the sky, and then the little trail starts, and then it turns around and makes another pass, and it goes away. And like an hour later, there's a cloud where this thing was, and I watched it. Like it just turned into. And I was like,
what a coincidence.
Yeah, I was like, that's not moisture, like I don't, it turned it on, turned it off, went back, turned it on, turned it off, whatever, and like it made a cloud. And I was like, I just watched this happen. I posted it. It's on my channel thing, but it's buried somewhere. But
where can people find that? Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Caleb Downing. I should have figured out a better name, but it was a personal channel. But yeah, and it's not even labeled as any conspiratorial kind of video. It's just buried in there somewhere where I was like, I just got jacked up because I was like, I just watched a cloud be made by an airplane. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. It was in the middle of the winter. It's trippy.
Wild.
So yeah. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Whatever that was.
Not let's start looking at the big picture, right? Yeah. Now, if you start work COVID in there. If you lost faith in the government, you just trust what you're being told. Like, okay, start looking at the cumulative evidence.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that everything. This is where I would caution people, and it's exciting and titillating to get like everything is a conspiracy. Yeah. But at some point, if everything is a conspiracy, then we're living in a simulation, and nothing's real, and you're not real, and I'm not real. So there's no morality, there's no God, there's no nothing, and there's no point to life. That's where that whole trail ends. So that's too far. There's a ditch on both sides of the road, right? One side says nothing is weird. One side says everything's weird and nothing matters. Don't go on both sides of the road. There's a common ground somewhere on this road, and that's kind of what we're dealing with, trying to find. But don't just negate everything because it sounds weird, and because it could have an ultimate weird outcome. Think about it.
Yeah. I think that,
and don't be scared because that's the whole thing. Evil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Right. That is their job. That's what they want to do.
They want you to be scared.
We do not need to live in fear because we worship the God who created everything and ultimately will put everything back at right. So we do not need to live in fear. Yes. The whole point of like, why? What does it matter? I would pull it back to like, we were given dominion of the earth. Part of that, of being given the dominion of the earth and told to rule and reign on the earth, is to understand it, right? That's where I pull like, whether it be flat earth or this stuff or all these other things, somehow or other, we need to understand it, right? And we need to be willing to look at the world as more than just the regular physics of what we're taught, that there could be more out there. Like my brother, he's an engineer. I told him like, how many engineers out there like Tesla or all these other people who find out these crazy ways to harness the power of the earth that God has given us for good.
For good, yeah.
And they're shut up, given money, and told to go away, and if they talk about it, they get killed, right? I think that is an awesome thing to do, not to kill people, but to harness the powers of the earth that God has given us and to shepherd it, foster it, care for it, grow it. Like, I think that's what we're supposed to do, right? And so I think that's the ultimate how we're supposed to, so what? That's what we're supposed to do, and not to go blast in the air with ions or whatever, and like be haphazard and irresponsible. That's what it, right. And not to utilize it as a form of control because that's weapon. That's not what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. Right. And nowhere should we be trying to turn the earth into a weapon in any capacity.
No.
Yeah. No. So, like I said, we're just looking at things and just talking about it, speculating. Do your own research.
Yeah, it's for entertainment.
Like, it's out there. This exists. It's a real thing. It's a real place. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And we're just talking about it. It's interesting.
It is.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Cool.
Man.
It's very interesting. I would like to hear back if anybody has seen these lights, especially people down like Florida. Like you said, people supposedly saw it in Florida. Like southern parts of Texas. I know people in Texas, like mid to northern Texas, saw the lights. Georgia, Tennessee, people in those areas. I mean, you can look up on Facebook. People saw these lights and posted pictures of it. It'd be very interesting to see, like, to hear back from people who have actually seen these things and like, were they red, were they green, were they doing weird stuff? Like, interested to hear from y'all in the lower 48, in the lower part of 48. I don't know. Or if anybody in Hawaii, has Hawaii ever seen Northern Lights?
Good question.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
If they start seeing it, then that'd be trippy.
Yeah, if Hawaii sees Northern Lights,
they're not learning. They got to change the name.
Yeah, the harp lights.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep. And maybe that's why it's like harp the herald angels sing. You know, because they're singing.
Whoa!
Just throw that
mic drop.
No, that's not biblical, but you know, that's just it's just a freebie for you.
That was just for funsies.
That was just for fun. Yep. So I don't have anything else on flat Earth. on that. I think it's interesting. It's cool speculation. Ultimately, with the flat Earth thing, the thing that I appreciate about the flat Earth idea, is that it doesn't point anywhere to like people. It points to God. The whole conspiracy of this points to God as our creator, omnipotent, omnipresent. The whole omnipresent thing, it brings an entire different scale to omnipresence, that he is everywhere all the time. Because if he is seated above everybody, he can literally look down and see everybody at all times in much more of a physical way. Like, we know he's spirit. We worship him in spirit, which could also mean he can just look through stuff, and that's fine. But it gives it a different perspective that he is literally seated above us, way closer than just on some ethereal plane out and just whatever
somewhere.
Yeah, it brings it into a different level, which I appreciate that, because again, that makes me be like, wow, God is very close, closer than, just an idea. Like, he's physically closer. It's interesting. That's where I have an appreciation for flat Earth. Whether it's true or not, that is a truth statement that I would say is accurate. That God is closer, however you want to look at that, than just ethereally closer. If that makes sense.
That does make sense. And if God is sitting if his throne is at the top of the firmament above the North Pole, and there's some radiation power being emitted from there that is coming down into the Earth, like maybe Harp's trying to harness that power, that radiation, whatever it is, that ether, that maybe that's, power from God's throne. Obviously, God is all powerful. Like, it could be just sort of radiating out into the Earth. Yeah. Which could explain why there's more intense radiation at the North Pole. Yeah. Could be. Could be. That's why magnets point north. I told you my dream had something to do with this magnets. Magnets keep coming back. They still do. Yeah. I was listening to a friend of mine told me they're talking to a pilot, and the company that they fly for tracks how many times they fly over the North Pole every year, and it's limited. They can only do it so many times because the amount of radiation that you're exposed to flying directly over the North Pole, like these polar flights, is much more intense than going around. So there's something there that makes it more powerful. I think like the scientific answer is that the way that the magnetic sphere encompasses the Earth, like it goes pole to pole, so there's like this small gap in the top as it wraps around the Earth. It's just more like concentrated there. Yes, yeah. So there's like there's a little opening for cosmic radiation to be getting in from out there in the universe. Like, it's coming down, and you'll have these like spikes on the North Pole, which could explain why you have the lights, because there's a higher amount of like photons coming in through the top. Yeah. So maybe it is interesting. Like, you start putting all these pieces together into the mosaic. Like, there is something pointing to there's a larger amount of radiation power, whatever electricity you want to call it, at the North Pole. Something going on up there. Something going on with the lights. Yeah. I don't know. If you get a chance, book your flight to Alaska. Come check it out sometime. Northern Lights are very cool. Probably want to go to Fairbanks if you want a better show. Yeah. But or Barrow if you really want to spend a lot of money. Yeah, all the way up. Yeah. So that's the Northern Lights. Pretty cool. Maybe we'll see them again soon. Probably. It's the beginning of winter, and we usually see them in the winter. It's just, I don't know. It just gets cold, and at that witching hour, when it gets really dark and the veil gets thin. You can't start with the witching hour at the end. Whole other topic there for us. Then anyway. Speaking of witching hour, we're out of here. Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Tinfoil Kingdom. We'll see you later. See ya.